I actually went to school to be a therapist, and I just ran out of money. So I never, and I ended up making more money as a welder. But so I do have like a soft spot.
Union, huh?
I was union for 4 years.
You're from the Eastern Bloc. You should be a truck driver.
Yeah, dude. But you know what? I made more money. I made more money selling drugs.
Straight from the south side. I'm just so happy to be here right now. Real Rap Podcast.
I don't have mercy for like boomers like my mom, because I'm like, if you knew, like me, I knew that I had like toxic things that I was like passing on to my kid.
Sure.
Whether it was like, just little shit like, you're gonna be locked in the bathroom and you gotta write, I will behave myself 100 times. Why? Because that's what we always did. That's what Bart Simpson did. But it's like, it's fucking stupid. Like, it traumatizes kids. Like, you gotta nurture kids, And the only reason why I was doing it, because I was like, oh shit, I'm just doing what I was taught.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's like if a carpenter taught you to use butter knives on a flathead instead of an actual screwdriver.
I was a union carpenter for 6 years, and it just so happened the region I was at where I learned to, rock, frame, mud, tape, paint, hawk trowel. Those are my skills there. If I went to the union hall here and started picking up a thing, I guarantee you I'm going to show up with my tool belt that I don't really have anymore, but show up with my tool belt and start doing stuff and then be like, ew, where'd you learn to do it that way?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to be like, bro, this is how we do it. And where? Hey, well, guess what, buddy? We do it. Because I see people... They won't even do like the hawk and trowel, with the big square and or how people square up their rock. Everybody has their little own things here and there. But at the time when I knew DJ, I didn't have the maturity to be sympathetic.
Yeah.
I believe we live in the gray area, but we remember in black and white. So looking back on it now, I could say, oh, he was a troubled young man. I don't know his dad's situation. I'm going to assume. Yeah. And then his mom's situation, she was also fucked up. Yeah. So when his reality was being created in the human mind, which isn't even comprehensible by mankind yet. We can't even define consciousness, let alone what a fucked up childhood does to somebody or any childhood, let alone. And then this kid ends up like that. Yeah. Looking at it now as a 45-year-old, at the time we were early 20s. So even my perspective now on a early 20-something is like, oh, you have no idea, don't you? My son's 22. He's about to be 23. So I look at him like a fucking little snot-nosed
My son
kid.
just turned 18 Monday. Yeah. Oh. But he's a step kid, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
But I like to flash that trophy around.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But I got that stepdad mullet going. But
do you got the stepdad van? How many stickers do you have on the back of your fucking car showing off your family?
Yeah, scratching off the old step kid, right? But no, I mean, what I was getting at is like, I do believe in that gray area. This is yin and yang. In the original SEAL script, that's what these are. Oh, no. I didn't want the little coexist cum rags, But
I love Tesla, but I hate Elon.
Yeah. But I what I was getting at is like growing up with my mom is like when I was young, I was like, man, she's a fucking bitch, she's a cunt, whatever. And then I got a little older and I was like, well, she was raised by this abusive family in Eastern Bloc Poland, like right after the Holocaust. But then when I got older, I was like, but you now have all the resources. I've tried taking her to a therapist. I tried getting her on any. I'm like, if you live in a time that you have all the resources and you're still fucking up, that's where I started drifting off. Like, bro, you got it. Like with my friend. I mean, I don't know. You said you don't know whatever happened in DJ, but my friend, I was like, dude, I'll fucking get you a therapist. I'll help you out. You can call me about anything you want, and I'm open to it. It's like if you have all the resources, but you're choosing not to because of pride or something, I can't have mercy for that. That's just me,
I feel that to an extent, and I definitely feel the desire to want to help people be the best version of themselves in your eyes. But also, I truly believe everybody's a star of their own movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we're all co-stars in somebody else's. I'm a co-star in your movie.
Yeah.
You're a guest on my podcast, and I'm like, ooh, all right, content. I'm keeping up with my daily posts, and I'm gonna, hopefully, we have an interesting conversation. Da, 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 da. And you're like, yeah, fuck yeah. Or, I can't speak for you, but you're like, yeah, I'm about to do a podcast. Nice, cool.
Yeah.
Sit down, do some networking, talk some shit, see what this guy Mike's about, and da 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 da. We're doing the same thing from two completely different perspectives. Have you ever read How to Win Friends and Influence People?
I think I might have listened to the audiobook possibly.
Sure.
Is it the same guy that goes
Dale Carnegie.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different guy. That book How to Not Give a Fuck About Anything or something. I don't know.
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck?
Yeah.
I got it upstairs. But
Yeah.
for How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just kind of a low-key psychology book on networking. But in the beginning of the book, he opens up the book with a true story. So there's a crook, criminal, what have you, accused criminal, who's just at lookout point with his old lady and some 56 Chevy Bel Air or some shit like that, and they're just smooching or whatever. Cop recognizes the car, recognizes the guy, walks up.
Yeah.
Hey, you're Jimmy No Good. And he's like, hey, bro, I'm just here with my lady. Fuck is you talking about? Get out the car.
Yeah.
Fucking put your hands behind your back. Gets out the car. They get into a scuffle. Jimmy No Good takes the cop's gun, bow, 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 shoots him. Now Jimmy No Good's on the run, right?
Yeah.
Ends up in a library across town when it's all said and done, shot to shit. He's fucking dying. He's leaking out. There's 8,000 cops outside this library. Come on with your hands up, Jimmy No Good. You got nowhere to go. It's over.
Yeah.
And so he's just inside, holed up in this library, bleeding out. He's going to die. He knows it, right? So in his last final moments, he takes out a paper, pencil. He's in the library. It was there. And starts writing a letter. And to paraphrase the letter, it was, bro, I was just sitting there minding my business. I was with my chick.
Yeah.
We was smooching, having a good time, and then this cop came up out of nowhere, started accusing me, threatened my life, tried to kill me with a gun, and I defended myself. I took it and I shot him. From Jimmy No Good's perspective, he was the star of the movie.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's not hard for any of us to skew things. Because there has to be, in DJ's mind, there was, albeit rational from his perspective, there was a rationale. There was one time I walked in DJ's apartment, and he had some camouflage pants, like military ones, right?
Yeah.
And at this point, I had known DJ for years, 3, 4, 5 years, right? And I was like, oh, shit. Where'd you get those from? He was like, oh, I was in the military. And at that point, I had known him for so long that I just rolled with it.
Yeah.
Cause he said it stone face. He said it with the I'm bluffing with 7 deuce off suit face. You know what I mean? Dead serious. And it was like, oh, I'm the asshole if I start challenging you and calling you a liar. At this point, I know what the fuck I'm getting. Yeah. You know? So, all right, bro. You used to be in the military. I've known you for 5 years. You're 23.
Yeah.
So, but you've used to be in the military. Fair enough, DJ. Fair enough. But in his mind, there had to be a rational reason.
He could lean into that too. Go to a fucking army surplus and get all the badges.
A fucking stolen valor.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, bro.
All you gotta do is buy a 26.2K that you ran a marathon or whatever.
Oh yeah,
sticker.
Yeah. Fucking put a cigarette lighter on your shoulder and be like, yeah, I got shot in the nam.
Yeah.
But it was actually, I'm telling you, he used to, try and make music, and he would just mimic whoever was the hottest at that time.
Yeah.
Like that was right around when 50 Cent came out, so he started talking like he got shot in the mouth. And like he was a fan of Tech Nine, so he'd rap like him. But he was ridiculously talented. He just had negative self-esteem.
Yeah.
His self-value
well,
was
that's what the
floor.
That's what the pathological liar is like you hate who you are so much that you're trying to follow something else.
Yeah.
I've met people like that in music, even in comedy. I've met people who where it's just like this person, you could kind of almost tell where they realized that they weren't funny. You know, like I read that. I don't read a lot, but I one thing that I always remember was like Stephen King's On writing. You ever read
Of
that?
course, yeah. I loved it.
And I remember that's where I heard about that whole 10-year rule. Like if you're whatever your passion is, if the needle didn't move at all and you've been going at it for 10 years, like literally give up. And there's people who they're just not funny, but they're a part of the comedy scene, and they love the people there.
Yeah,
and
it's a community.
And they go to they pay people jokes, they steal jokes, they will do, it's so funny what a weird addiction comedy is, that people will do that. You know, I was going to tell you a funny story about my friend, my pathological liar friend.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of story. I could write a novel how many lies he's made up, but this is the funniest moment that I had with him was we didn't have a falling out. He would just kind of like disappear randomly because he's like, oh, you know, I'm not catching up with these lies. So he caught up with me. I hadn't seen him for like 7 years, and I'm like, you know what would be fun for us to do? He goes, what? And 10 years before that time, something happened. We went to this hookah bar. This was like in 2010. We went to this hookah bar that was owned by like these mafia Goomba guys. And they didn't like the way we were talking, the way we were dressed. So I had this stink bomb that I broke open, and I like poured it all over their pants, and we ran out of there. And I remember the thing that made him laugh his ass off is like we were getting chased down by these Italian kids. And the moment I turned my car on, for some reason, the Onyx was blasting.
Yeah.
And my buddy lost it. He's like, "This is so stupid."
Let the boys be boys.
Yeah,
right?
and I told him like since like when I whatever this was from now, it was 4 years ago, but like 7 years later, we meet up again, and he's like, we should do something. We should go. And I go, you know what's really funny? Onyx is coming to town. We should go see him. Like that'd be funny as fuck, because it's really like that one joke, like that one song.
Yeah.
And once again, he would do this thing where you're like, yeah, I'm going. Yeah, it's no problem. Yeah, don't worry about it. Day of, yeah, dude, I can't go, man. I'm fucking sorry. And he would always do this, and I'm like, so. What happened next to try and make it up to me? This is what made me laugh. Do you know? I don't know if it was Trapped. You know that white band Trapped, that dad rock. It's headstrong to take you on, headstrong to take on anyone. So to make it up to me, my buddy told me, dude, I'm sorry I flaked out. This time I'm gonna buy the tickets. We'll go to this show. I'm going to see Trapped at Brar House in Lombard. Let's go fucking see. I'm like, you're gonna see Trapped. I'm like, that band sucks. I'm like, he's like, so does Onyx. I'm doing it as a joke, and it's right. So I'm like, all right. He's like, I got tickets for me and my sister. You should get it. Like it's on Sunday, and it was like Thursday. I'm like, I don't think Trapped is gonna sell out, dude. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna wait. He's like, all right, man. I'm just telling you. And in my head, I'm thinking, why the fuck am I seeing this band that I don't even like? Well, it's my friend. And then I read later that it's an acoustic set, which made it even worse. I mean, it's basically like seeing Onyx acoustic set, you know?
Right.
So I'm waiting.
Onyx Unplugged.
Yeah. So Saturday comes around. He's like, did you get it? I'm like, no. And then, dude, Sunday, I wake up 10 in the morning. First post I see, yo, guys, something turned up. I can't come to this show. Anybody want 2 tickets to see Trapped? I'm like, dude, you almost made me see this horrible fucking band. I almost bought a ticket, and you flaked on yourself, you know?
Commitment issues.
Yeah.
I don't know this to be true, but I'll paint a scenario for a DJ that I think has a decent percentage. Now, DJ, father, not in the picture, mother, fucked up.
Yeah.
DJ was 5'5" on a good day, maybe.
Yeah.
Skinny. If at any point in time, and thank my lucky mathematical stars, if at any point in time DJ was, let's say, touched funny, once, if not repeatedly, throughout his life, that in a naturally heterosexual boy's mind,
oh, it fucks you up.
Not only does it fuck you up, it's going to cause your brain to want to compensate for that moving through life.
Oh, yeah.
Which
because it told you that you're not good
which
enough.
could cause you to want to lie to yourself.
Yeah.
To even block stuff like that out.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know what's it. Stephen King on Reading, right?
Yeah.
There, I think 30% of that book is him being coked out.
Yeah. Yeah.
50% of his early career is him being coked out. At any point in time when you watch like people on TV or on YouTube doing crazy shit, back when World Star was the shit, when somebody get knocked out and everybody's just screaming World Star, you go, oh, these goddamn, I'm sure there's plenty of white folks, these goddamn monkeys, and they just watch it just to say that and be like, I love watching this, but when are they gonna get their shit to? They were fucked up.
Yeah.
They were off Hennessy. That's what you do when you're off Hennessy and you're around a bunch of testosterone.
Yeah.
Fucking the Third Reich.
Yeah. Somehow, but
the Third Reich marching through Italy 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
They were methed out of their fucking minds.
Yeah. It's funny though that you see a World Star and you're like, oh, look at these monkeys, but then, hey, my name's Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass. Like it's this. It's.
They were
it's the same, you know.
Everybody's on something at all times.
Yeah.
Everybody's on something.
Sometimes you gotta.
How early this morning? I've been off caffeine.
Yeah.
And half the time, if I had a show tonight, which I'm still probably gonna do it because I got editing to do.
Yeah.
I'm about to go get another. I've been off like 2 big ass things of coffee this morning. I'm gonna go buy a little can next door that has a week's supply of more caffeine, and then I'm gonna be up till 3 a.m. going, I must be a genius, I can't even go to sleep. What is this? I'm a savant.
Dude, I gotta lay off caffeine. I know exactly. you know what I had recently? They should fucking sponsor this. Is that everyday dose? You know what that is?
No.
It's like the Rise mushroom stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The everyday dose is actually good because I tried that shit because coffee's the only thing I've ever been addicted to in my life. It's fucking weird. And it fucks with me because, like, I take epilepsy meds. So it'll, like, make mood swings and shit. Because it's like... It's like hitting with the anticonvulsant in some weird way. But, like, mud water was gross. I mean, it's like fucking mixing cinnamon in water. Yeah. Rise was whatever. I never really tried, but that everyday dose is like, that's my sweet spot. Yeah. Because I will have that. You know what it is? Like, I kind of want to write a bit about this because I was like, you know what? Maybe this is early signs of some kind of dementia. Dog, my bosses, they know when I had too much coffee because I will have 4-hour conversations with myself. They just hear me. Hey, Phil, how's it going? Oh, I'm doing fine. What's going on? Yeah. Like for 4 hours. And when I have that everyday dose, it's like Adderall. I'm just like, okay, what do I do next? Like I'm energized, but I'm focused. It's awesome, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back. Another episode of Real Rap Podcast with my guest, comedian extraordinaire Phil, and you got to help me out with your last name for the first time.
Lisiecki. Yeah.
Yes, and we're gonna hop right back into our conversation. You know the time he's gonna have time at the end to give all of his stuff. So interesting. I did want to bring this up. When did you move? Because you're from Poland, yes.
So I was born in Chicago.
You were born in Chicago, but your upbringing was pure
Polish.
Like,
yeah.
When did you start speaking English?
I think it was around 10 to 12 years old. Yeah.
Are you still connected to the to your home country?
I still I got family that I talk to, but they don't really. There's a whole novel of drama with old country stuff and
yeah, of course.
But yeah, I was born. I think it was St. Joseph's Hospital in Chicago, and it's kind of funny because like the way Polish people do it is like share. It was like 20 refugees in an apartment, like sardines, just like saving up until they can go out. That's what I remember. My brother, when my ma had my brother when we finally moved out, so he doesn't remember the poor days and all that stuff. Like I'm actually writing an entire like 10 minutes on just being Polish.
Yeah.
And one of the things was how like my grandma was like, you know, your mother is proud, independent woman, so she refuses child support. I'm like, what does that mean? It's like, so we are going to eat bacon lard sandwiches to save, and that's what she did. Like
syrup sandwiches.
She had like a Folgers coffee can full of lard, and finally, I remember one day I snapped it because I was a fat kid. I'm still like, and I was like, what the fuck? Can we have some kind of fucking dessert here, you pig? You know?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, and she's just sprinkled sugar on a bacon lard sandwich.
Bacon lard sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Now you actually happen to be in a similar boat to me, because I love comedy. I've loved comedy my entire life, way before I ever got into the game.
Yeah,
I found the old Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Ma Mabley tapes in the box upstairs. You know what I mean? And watched Sinbad, Paula Poundstone. I go on for days. Right now. There's one thing I'm never actually going to truly get, and that's the best black jokes that white people say when black folks ain't around.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just not going to be I'm going to have to die and realize I'm never going to hear the best ones, right? Because it's not for me to hear.
They don't come around you, or you don't understand, or you just never hear them.
No, like the super funny / super racist jokes about black people.
Yeah.
That white folks tell when we're not in the room. Mm-hmm. They're there. Of course they're there.
Yeah.
But your culture, Polish.
Yeah.
There's and I'm not saying jokes like there's, you know what I mean? It's not going to be Anthony Jeselnik on stage going, and then the Polish, but they're like old school from the 1900s, knock, knock, who's there? How many whatever does it take to screw in a light bulb?
Yeah.
Like, do you guys trade those jokes amongst yourselves, or is it just everybody else saying those jokes about you guys?
I think it's an American thing, honestly.
Yeah, it's just American making fun of all the immigrants that created the country. Yeah.
It really is. I can't think of, like you said, because
you're not allowed to be in the room when these jokes get told.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, because like part of why I want to start writing that Polish 10 minutes is because a lot of Polish people, at least my generation is cool now, but the generation before, they don't really laugh at shit. They're just like, what are you laughing at?
They grew up in communism.
Yeah. No,
isn't there a large Polish is a large Jewish population? Back in when it was like being Jewish means you get a tattoo, and a date that you're not looking forward to.
Yeah. No, that was it. That's where all the concentration camps were. We're in Poland,
Warsaw.
I had 2-3 family members that were Holocaust survivors.
No kidding.
Yeah, and they so as far as jokes. Like I say this on stage that like Polish people, they kind of, the old generation, the new generation understands they can take jokes, but the old generation, they kind of laugh at your misfortunes. They'd be like, Mike, you got cancer? Of course you would. Of course. It's, I never see you at church. What do you expect? God fuck you in the ass. It's
I was going to congratulate your weight loss, but apparently no.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's literally it. That's every what? That was every holiday. Is every holiday your relative goes, I thought you'd lose 10 pounds, man, but you lose 5. You are such a loser,
Do me a favor, go make me bacon large sandwich.
Yeah. That is a joke I was gonna say, that my grandma would call me the biggest fat ass, but at the same time, you got a fucking all you can eat buffet for me.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the most narcissist shit. You're not gonna tell me how to lose weight. You're just gonna feed me more.
That's interesting though, because I think that's kind of what comes with being from an underdog culture. Because black folks, we bag on each other all the time. I call my nana tough as nails from Philly. You know what I mean? Born in North Carolina, but spent 90% of her life between DC and mainly in Philly.
Yeah.
And if I call her right now, she's in her 80s and she will snap on me in a heartbeat. My favorite thing to do with my nana is say, "Hey nana, ever since you voted for Trump, things have been crazy." And she'll just snap on me for the next 12 minutes straight. You know what I mean? It's adorable. I love doing it. It's my favorite. But that kind of what do they call it? Like gallows humor? Like
Yeah.
It's just something about it, because people from impoverished cultures, they make they're typically the best fighters.
Yeah.
In sports wise,
If you come from anything oppressed, it's kind of like that.
And you are bagging on each other. You have the craziest sense of humor.
It's that meme with James Franco where he's got the noose and he's just like, first time here. You know? It's like it is that kind of humor, like
it's because you're in a crappy situation, but you're like, well, I don't have anything else. Let me at least make fun of it.
Yeah,
you know.
You know what's funny? I never talked about this. So this is an exclusive rap podcast.
Exclusive. Drop one of Clues bombs.
I remember when I was seeing, like, so my brother, like I said, he was close to my mom, so he didn't want to believe. And you know what? We're on the same page now, my brother and I. We're fucking great now. We've never been tighter. But at the time, he didn't understand. He didn't see these signs. And me, slowly, I'd be like, well, this is a little bit like I hate to say it because narcissist is like the white girl word of the year. Like you know, it goes in cycles.
It certainly is.
It's like,
and by the way, we're all narcissists.
Yeah,
to a degree.
You know what I found though, like going through the therapy school, is like the playing victim thing. Like there's a difference between like over self-confidence or like megalomaniac. The narcissist, like the nail in the coffin, is like the playing victim. And the funny thing about how you're talking about like the Polish people humor and like how did you bring that together in the family? What I realized with my mom is like she would play victim a lot. Like she would. I don't even know what like an example to. I mean, it was, you know, there's a old. We grew up in the same time. You remember a movie Buffalo '66?
Oh, that sounds so familiar.
It was like a doc. It was on the Independent Film Channel.
Okay.
But there's a scene in there. It's about this guy who like he didn't pay off a gambling loan, so he goes to jail, but he didn't tell his parents. He was like, "Oh, you know, I'm a secret agent and I'm going to be traveling a lot." And when he comes back, he sits at the table with his parents, and he had these abuses. And like immediately, the first thing the dad's like, "You're pointing that knife at me. You got to point it right. You're gonna put it right in my heart." You know, and that's my ma actually did that kind of shit. You know, so what I learned through comedy, like you kind of learn this stuff through trial and error. Yeah. But you know, when they tell you, they're like, "How do you deal with a diagnosed narcissist?" They're like, "You just don't give in." You don't give it, like, they're like, the number one thing you can say is noted, because they want any reaction. I'd be like, "Mike, you know, man, you look like a mess lately." If you self-deprecate and you're like, "Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I had a tough week, whatever." You're still giving them that attention. So just being like, "Whatever, noted. You don't matter." That's what it. But what I did is I leaned into it, and it ended up making for some funny situations, because my mom would be like, you know, she's like, I mean, I can't even explain. It would be like, you know, I've been working 80 hours a week this week for you. I've been suffering, and your dad doesn't help pay us. And I realized
your pop was around.
No, he left when I was like in second grade. I got
second grade. What's that? 7 years old. So you remember it?
He kidnapped me on a visitation and threw me out of a moving car.
So all right, slow down.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that's what you told him. No, my bad. I couldn't help myself.
No.
But wait, he threw like dropping you back off. Like wait, what? Give me the scenario.
So I'll go in order. So like because you were asking me before how I learned English. Like long story short, with that, my friend was Polish as well, so I just copied his homework until I kind of learned it through trial and error through him. Because my parents they didn't help me at all, so I kind of. And the fun fact about that is, if you learn English before you hit puberty, dude, hormones are like LSD. They just like a steroid for your brain. You lose the accent because I used to sound like this.
Of course, yeah.
And like you even if you see like baby videos, I had an accent, but so what happened is my dad. This is one of those like chicken or the egg things that kind of sucks that you'll never know. Is like my dad got driven nuts by my mom. And I don't know if he became an alcoholic because of that or because he was already an alcoholic. But what happened is, I mean, I can tell you, it's a bizarre story. You want me to go into it? I don't care.
Go for it. So
there was a moment where what got him kicked out of the house is, I remember I was a kid and I just heard like screaming at night and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then I saw like lights like this through the window.
Yeah.
And what happened
you think it's too much? I'm sorry, bookmark where you're at. You think it's too much?
No, it's all good.
This is the first episode where I got both of those in and they're timed to our voice. And now I'm wondering if I was just watching this as a layman.
Yeah.
Like, is that too much?
I don't know.
I don't know. You're going to be the test episode, but all right, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I saw all these lights on the screen, and then my mom just grabs me out of bed, and then I realized she looked like a fucking sitting bull just scalped her. She just had a split open head, and she's like bleeding down her face, and I didn't know what happened. I guess he busted her head open, so she hid me in a closet. And I don't know. She's like, your dad's going to murder us. I'm hiding you. I'm saving your life. And then I didn't know what the fuck happened until the cops pulled me out of there. So that got him out of the picture. And after that, he had like visitation rights, but my grandma had to help. Like she had to be, it was, what is it called? Like if a parent is dangerous, it needs to be supervised. So, it's like you can have DCFS come with, or you can have like another adult. So my grandma would come with, and I remember it like it was the other day. I kind of make a joke about this that I was a huge Terminator 2 fan. Oh, yeah, so the funny thing is like people are like, oh my God, wasn't it traumatizing to get kidnapped? I was like, dude, I felt like the Terminator because what happened is, so we go on the visitation. My grandma and brother are in the back. I'm in the passenger seat. And I was like, hey, Dad. He's like, so what do you want to do today? I'm like, I want to go to that store. There was a store by Harlem. It was called Forever Young. It's like a modern nostalgia store. Okay. Like they had 1960s comic books, yo-yos, like Spencer's Gifts type shit. And he's like, no, we're not fucking going there. We're getting food. And that's where I'm taking you. And as a joke, you know how like cars got the like shifter in the middle? I was like, well, then we're gonna crash because I want to go there. You're supposed to love us and take us. And I just put my hand over it, and he knocked my lights out. And I guess he took off. So that's the thing that's kind of like weird is that it wasn't your stereotypical somebody gets kidnapped and they're gone for you. It was like he knocked me out, then he took off with me and my brother and my grandma. And then he's like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get in trouble. So I got to get rid of the evidence. So he threw me out of the moving car. I just woke up in the middle of an intersection. And that's where I go with the joke. I was like, I wasn't conscious for the trauma. I just fucking woke up in the middle of the road like, give me your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle, you know?
Give them now.
Yeah, like I just traveled through a black hole.
Give to me.
So that shit, that shit happened. And then after that, obviously, like he was out of the picture. Like they couldn't fucking...
For sure.
Yeah.
And you haven't had any contact with him since?
So that was even more messed. Like, I could go into all the trauma. Dude, 2020 or 2021 was the hardest year of my life.
Oh, the towers.
5 people died in my family in a year. Oh, shit. They all died in a year.
Wow.
He was the first one. And as far you asked me, like, did I ever try to rekindle? So, like, there were moments, obviously, with a narcissistic mom where I was like, "Fuck you, I'm moving out." You know, I get a stick with a bandana with my shipping.
Yeah.
And there was a moment in like after high school where I was like, I'm gonna move in with my dad, and I tried visiting him, and he was living in a welfare building, and it was just the other thing too. Here's what fucked me up was that I went to go visit him. And then and I was like, this is too much. Why would I want to rekindle this? Then like 5 years passed by. Now it's like 2017. He was at a hospital in Niles. They called me like, yo, do you want to go visit your dad? You're the power of attorney. He doesn't have any other family. And I went over there and I rekindled, and it was like going okay. And then I go home and I realized, I was like, oh fuck. He called me like 20 times. Like, what is going on here? And they didn't tell me he had severe dementia. So he was forgetting that he saw me every 5 minutes. And he left all these messages. Go get me some cigarettes. Get me some Marlboro Reds. Because and the nurses are like, his cigarettes are on his stomach. He just keeps forgetting. And the funny thing is, like, he fucking stayed in that hospital for like 15 years because he just kept getting hit by cars trying to run across the street with his ass showing in scrubs to get cigarettes. But what happened during lockdown, that was crazy. They called me. I was doing Instacart because everyone was laid off, and they're like, yo, we could do what they call comfort care, which is they inject him full of more. He was in the hospital for COPD. You know what that is? It's like COPD is like a chronic condition where if you smoke cigarettes for like 10 years in your life, you just get this, like you get like basically flu on steroids from your lungs being inflamed. Okay. Like it's, even if you stop smoking, it's just like it damages the protective shield. So you just will always get lung problem, like bronchitis. So he was in the hospital for COPD, and then he caught COVID in there. He was actually one of the first people in Chicago that died from it because they had his name on the news and everything.
No kidding.
So I'm driving Instacart, dude. I'm gonna sound like your pathological liar friend because all this extreme. I'm driving Instacart, and they call me. They're like, "Do you want to put him down or do you want to keep him?" I'm like, and they told me, they're like, if we try and keep him alive, they're going to put so much oxygen in his brain that he's going to be paralyzed for life. So I'm like, dude, I'll just fucking put him down, you know? Right as I'm doing that, this guy was upset. Like, I was driving in like a 30-mile-an-hour road, but in my head, I'm like, dude, I just killed somebody. I just put someone down. Like, it was fucking with me.
It's not even a somebody. That's interesting. I didn't go to any school for anything. It's just interesting that you referred to your biological father as somebody. Now. What do you think that is?
I mean,
it's almost a separation. Like you stood outside of your bloodline just now, explaining it in your story.
I honestly think it's because I had to raise myself. Like I feel like when you see like Dr. Phil and you see like, here's this girl that was raised in a cage as a dog and she was barking her whole life. I kind of feel like that. I had to learn everything. That's. Well,
I didn't mean to get you off track. Again. So you were driving 30 and some guy.
Oh, some guy. Some motherfucker got mad that I was going slow, so he pushed my car into oncoming traffic, and I had a head-on collision. And he took off. So I guess you could say like a victim of hit and run. And dude, it was wild. I mean, I still have the pictures. Like, I was only going 20, but the opposing lane was going 30. So I hit this lady's car head on. Her wheel snapped and went through my passenger windshield. I had airbag dust all over me. I'm running outside to get this guy's license plate, and he took off. He took off. He got away with it. And then after that, what happened is I called a doctor. I'm like, I never had anybody die. What am I supposed to, and I don't know this somebody, what am I supposed to do? He's like, if I were you, because COVID's on lockdown, like I would like get all this stuff out of his apartment because all the government buildings are shut down. So they won't process a death certificate. So they might charge you for the rent. And dude, it just gets more and more wild.
No,
it just
that
gets more and
stinks.
more wild because I go to the apartment. I found out, I was like, wait, he was in the hospital for 10 years. There were 2 gypsy women living in his apartment, living off his Social Security. And I go in there and I told him, I go, and I know they robbed him because he was a jeweler. Fun little fact. This is kind of crazy. People, this always cringes people. Because World War II happened in Poland, every old school Polak has Nazi memorabilia.
Of course.
Every single one. You could be digging in your garden and there's a fucking swastika, And so he, because he was a jeweler, memorabilia sells for a lot, but you got to sell it to other Nazis. So you don't want to you don't want to deal with that. So what he would do is he would buy 1930s silver and counterfeit shit and then rip them off. So, but
No, I mean, it makes sense though, because it's just because it's a symbol of oppression doesn't mean it's not a part of your culture. Because that's another parallel you can draw to Black folks' experience in America, from my perspective, of course, everybody.
Yeah.
But that's if you turn on, maybe not as much. Who am I kidding? Now, and especially in the 90s, if you're watching a black comedy,
yeah,
there's a very decent chance 7 times out of 10, 6 times out of 10, and I'm definitely not taking myself out of this equation. There's a decent chance there's going to be a reference to white people.
Yeah.
Because our experience in America is tied to, we have a symbiotic relationship. It's like Venom and Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Just because there was a oppressive aspect to it, it is our genesis as African Americans in
you can't deny the past.
And you see it, and I don't know everybody's culture.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's similar tropes, because a lot of cultures had their not so great times while this country was being made.
Yeah.
You realize next year is going to be America's 250th birthday?
No, that's crazy.
It is.
That's crazy. America.
But
what I was getting at is that, so he was a jeweler even as a hobbyist. Like once in a while he would just make jewelry as a hobby. When I went to his place, he had 3 suitcases where they had these foam pads and slits to where you put rings, cleaned out by these women. Of course. They sold. So what ended up happening, this just, like I said, this was the ending to this wild part of the year. Just the first death, right? I looked at his bank statements and I was like, that's fucking crazy. There was $5,000 in his bank before he died. And then 2 days after he dies, it's gone. So I just went to a Bank of America and I asked him, I told him this whole story. I'm like, there's these gypsy women that were ripping him off, living at his house. She was Polish too, because she works at a bank. So I was like, you don't have to tell me. Just nod your head. Was there a suspicious transaction between this day? And she nodded her head. And I this is wild, but I called those ladies and I was like, listen, you're an immigrant here. I'm assimilated here. I know some scary fucking people. And if you don't give me my dad's money in 48 hours, someone's going to get hurt. And they gave it to me in 2 hours. And you know what? That was almost like a bigger slap in the face, because they knew exactly what the fuck I was talking about. Thinking they could sneak it past by. And it was I had people tell me, they're like, dude, you could have gone after, they probably have over $100,000 worth of Social Security checks that they use, but all that money would have gone to the government. I'm not going to fucking get a lawyer to benefit Uncle Sam, to throw him in jail. So
that sounds like, well, it's not the apple pie America traditional family. Actually, kind of is.
Yeah.
But I mean, real America.
Yeah.
But how do you think Because you could take that same exact scenario of that kind of upbringing, you know, the with your dynamic with your father, dynamic with your mother, and how unfortunately they're no longer here with us, and you're still relatively young, so I don't know exactly when they passed, but it was when you were still too young to lose people like that in your life. What that does to the psyche, like what we was talking about, you know, earlier, you could have definitely taken a different path. I've always been thankful that I had both my folks, because without that, I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand, real life, what it does to people when you don't have anybody to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
When you feel like you don't really have anybody to answer to, it's so easy to fall the wrong way.
To be honest, it's even more depressing now. I mean, I've learned how to. That's the thing. It's like every person has mental illness. That is like scientifically proven. It's about how well.
Then that means nobody has mental illness.
Well. I mean, it's about how well you manage it.
Fair
you
enough.
know, like you could maybe you might have, as if there was like a gun that pointed like, how bipolar are you? Like, let's stick this.
I was diagnosed with ADD. I was on Ritalin the whole
But
time.
it's like if you had AI, I think this will eventually happen where they'll stick a needle in you and they'll be like, okay, well, this much hormones is happening. This is how his blood is pumping. This is how much cortisol he has. So he's 26% bipolar. And then say I had the same bipolar, but guess what? You manage it better because you exercise or something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that's like people always. I think people. I don't want to be like an anti-pill guy because I'm on like a very low dose of Zoloft and I have my epilepsy, but it's like I think everybody is a little bit mentally ill, but it's how they manage it. And I don't know where I was going with that, but I guess with like the whole, you know, you're saying how it affects you with the death thing. It's like.
Or just that upbringing in general.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be to a degree less accountability if your folks are spending that much time with their own up in the air situations. If they're scattered handling this or that, or if they happen to have some form of addiction or whatever that they're attending to, they're not gonna be attending to you. I barely got held together by glue, and because my pop's military, so he was gone like literally half the time. My mom was young, so she's trying to.
Did they meet in the military? Did they meet in the military?
No, so my pop met my mom really shortly after I was born. Okay. So he's on paper he's my step pop, but he's my father. He's my dad. There's not a single distinction in my brain that's different. Yeah. Because literally since my brain has been recording, he's been around. But they met. Well, I guess kind of they met in the military because my mom's a twin, and she was dating a guy that was in the military, and he was Pat was like, hey, she's got a twin sister.
Yeah.
Why don't you come with us, Carl? And he was like, all right. And then he showed up. They started dating. They were dating for 6 months. He got orders to Okinawa, Japan. And he was like, hey, it's really cool meeting you. I'd like to keep dating, but technically that means we got to get married and go to this island off the coast of Japan. And she was like, all right. And that was 44 years ago. They're still together. I got a brother, you know.
That's cool. That's great.
Yeah, it's super dope. You take him out of the equation. If he was busy that night, if he had a long day at work, slept in, or if he went to go see Suzanne or whatever down the street, bro.
Yeah.
My mom was 17, 18 and has me, you know what I mean? Who knows where the dice could have fell.
Yeah.
And because you don't have to dig too far beneath the surface. I don't think for anybody's family to start getting those crazy stories. I definitely have enough.
That's why it's beautiful that at this age we can become self-aware of those things.
Yeah.
Because I think earlier you're getting at like, how did those situations and that upbringing, how did that affect you? What I realized is like, like for example, the death at a young age. And even not knowing the language, what I realize, and man, my comedy friends would know this better than I don't want to say clingy, but like I value friendship over everything because my family wasn't shit, and I suck at making friends. So that's one thing that I became self-aware of. It's like why, it's almost like I would like become friends with somebody and I'd be like, this isn't even as amazing as I painted it in my head. It's just that I'm chasing it because I was so fucking lonely growing up. And then the second thing too is that I realized too is like because I raised myself, I kind of only trust anecdotal evidence type shit. I know it's really stupid and can be ignorant, but it's like I judge a lot of things because I feel like I lived like 7 lives. It's like, oh, well, I've been there before and it could be different type,
Sure.
Like you can look at it a different way. So I don't know.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, that's dope. That's a
what is a fun fact that I'm just right. There's so much shit that so recently I became really good friends with my buddy Buey, Brennan Weaver.
Okay.
We were running our show. I'll get into it later. It just got shut down. They went bankrupt. But anyways, he was telling me, he's like, dude, and every comedian friend tells me, he's like, dude, why are you writing this bullshit? Not even being you and not writing this when this is standalone so fucking funny. Like, for example, like Phil Lisiecki, Lisiecki means foxy in Polish, which I'm far from. Foxy Phil, and then the other thing.
You got the tail for it.
Yeah, and that's what I think I'm still working on. I'm like, well, I'm not foxy like cool and black. I'm foxy like I'm rabid and I'll charm you into a hole and abduct you. Like
there you go. That's an icebreaker.
But the other thing, the fun fact, my mom, I didn't realize until I was older, she ran a sweatshop her whole life. She
so sewing buttons on fucking hats or what?
Yeah, so when my dad left, so I had like 5 entrepreneurs in my family. Like my dad was a jeweler and he was good up until he got drunk and all that shit. And then my mom, she was an interior designer. She made everything fabric. I mean, pillows, upholstering, couches, curtains, bedspreads. I think she did one of Oprah's apartments, Lori from Shark Tank, and possibly Mike Ditka's.
Mike Ditka.
Yeah. So she had things going well, but it's just kind of funny. Like the joke was that living out in Schaumburg, there's that independent airport.
Okay.
And in the morning, my wife always gets woken up by the rotors going. Like you're going into some Vietnam flashback with the helicopter. That shit relaxes the fuck out of me because my entire, from birth to like high school, that industrial air compressor going from the sewing machines, just like brrr, like
oh wow,
that's like white noise to me. It puts me to sleep.
Sure.
Because so yeah, we had like every house we lived in, we had like 15 sewing machines going, and just, I mean, it was cool because like growing up metal and punk, always had the best jackets with all the patches,
Yeah.
But yeah, or like my brother's a huge fucking nerd, so he had like a Zelda Link from outfit made.
You.
But yeah, so that was the upbringing, and then in high school we moved to the burbs, but what got me into comedy was because that's the other thing too, man. When they say like break the curse of your family, dude, there was like a curse. I've mentioned this before that like there was a curse in my family of like miserable divorced women. Before JD Vance said that bullshit, I was so biased because of my experience. I was like, oh, I'm never marrying a Polish woman. They're fucking annoying as hell, you know? And then my friends would be like, no, it's just your mom. It's just your mom and your aunt, you know? But yeah, it was I grew up. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm blanking out. I'm nicotined up.
It was like an open train of thought. Do you still feel connected to? Do you feel more American or do you feel more Polish? Do you feel like, is there a draw either way? Does it even make a difference to you?
I think I'm exactly right down the middle. Proud to be both. Like if you had to say like,
depending on what they're doing in soccer.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I don't. As far so like the Polish thing, you know, it's funny you say that. Where I grew up,
because on the Mortal Kombat like leaderboard,
yeah,
Polish when it comes to white,
yeah,
Polish from where I'm sitting, they put Polish at the lower end of white. I think it might be above like Irish. I'm not personally taking a dig at you. I'm just saying, like when it comes to the thing,
you know what I tell people, and I say this on stage. Poland is like, they're like the Florida of Europe.
You go. That's what I was getting at. I didn't mean to make it a leaderboard.
Yeah. No, I get
perfect. That's perfect.
No, I say it on stage. I go.
That's perfect.
I go. We're the Mexicans of Europe, you know, and Mexicans, they're just Mexicans. Yeah. I just like I say we're the Florida of Europe, and Ukraine's like the Indiana of Europe, where like we tan and we look good when we do crime.
Yeah. No, actually, Ukraine being the Gary,
or like
Europe.
the Rockford.
No. It's got to be Indiana and Gary, because that would make Chicago Russia.
yeah. You know what I always say? I feel like Gary is like, I used to go on stage and be like, man, dude, Gary, if you want to stop fucking this whole Israel war, show him a picture of Gary, Indiana. Like, this might be you. Because, and people, I feel like people would get this feeling of like, oh man, you're saying that because all Gary is black. And that's why I'm like, dude, no, every black and white person in Chicago is ashamed of every black and white person in Gary. It's a different, I feel like the way, like, you ever see a movie where, like, you know, like you've seen like Goodfellas and Casino?
Yeah, of course.
So like,
1,000 times.
you see how handsome Rob De Niro or Ray Liotta or Joe Pesci might look, and then you see the real character, you're like, dog, this guy looks like the fucking deli pervert, you know? Like, that's what I feel like. Gary is like the real character. Chicago is like these beautiful jacked gangbangers.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, man. Every time I go to, like, there's always some like albino, one glass eye person. You know what I mean?
Sure, it is the continuation school of cities.
Yeah,
but that's hard to be a satellite city to a major city.
Yeah.
And I mean, the further west you go, the less you see of that, because at the end of the day, no shade to my friends and family in Philly or Jersey, but Philly and Jersey are suburbs of New York.
Yeah.
And Gary, Milwaukee, all those places, they're just suburbs of Chicago.
Yeah.
But the further west you go with those big ass cartoon square blocks for states, that now it's just a whole there's no suburb of LA. I mean, there is.
Yeah.
If you didn't tell me, when I hear Kendrick Lamar, I think LA.
Yeah.
Sure, he's from Compton.
Yeah.
But I hear LA, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know there's a difference, but I'm not going to correct myself.
Yeah.
No shade to Compton or LA, by the way.
I cannot believe, like, it blew my mind how short Kendrick is. I love him, but I remember seeing one photo where there's like a chick front row and he's rapping, and I'm like, yeah, that's a big bitch. Or never, because they were at the same height.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh no, Kendrick's like a doll. You know?
Yeah, super short actors and super tall actors surprise me when you see them. Because you oddly you make everybody the same height.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you like them, but you make them the same height. Because I also like that reminds me of like in my mind, like I'm screaming at the top of my lungs in my mind right now, and I'm whispering as low as possible in my mind right now. They're the same volume. Mm-hmm. Like my mind just go ahead and just it sticks on one track. And so when I see Tom Cruise on TV, I'm like, yeah, he's probably my size or whatever.
Yeah,
bro, he's coming up. Him and Al Pacino are like,
yeah. You know, it's I don't know why I coincided this with because we're talking about mental health. That's why it drives me nuts that like I feel like recently there's like this trend of like, you know, any fucking, you know, my kid, he's like a Zoomer. Any mistake they make, oh well, I'm autistic, ADHD, and OCD.
Oh, it's
cool
like
now. Self-diagnose. It's like, dude, no, like you know why I hate that? Because it's that silver bullet mentality in America that like, oh, I have this, so I'm going to take this, and it's going to affect me exactly how it says on the bottle. It's like, no, dude, everyone's different sizes. They have different things going on there. You know what I mean?
But I do also challenge you to consider this. Mm-hmm. You're out of touch, man.
Me?
Yeah. And especially me.
Yeah.
Go back to so the age that you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
We're doing these things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just rewind your mind back to that age, and then say your age out loud to them.
Yeah.
You're out of touch, bro.
Yeah.
You're over the hill.
Yeah.
You're old. You don't get it. Mm-hmm. It's not for you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Listen, but as a matter of fact, I'm Sir age right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
Mr. I'm if a kid walks up and says, hey, grab me that real quick, his mom will smack him in the mouth and say, you better respect your elders. I'm an elder, bro.
That's hilarious.
And the harder you try and fight against it, it's only going to make it worse.
Yeah, yeah.
This world is no longer for you.
But see, like, I don't think it's just, I shouldn't have said Zoomer. I mean with everybody, I feel like it's becoming more and more like, bro, people make mistakes. You could just say, hey, I fucked up. Like, I feel like even people our age, oh yeah, I got autism. It's like, so you got this jail-free card every time you fuck up. No, dude, there's people, you're here talking to me. You're not bedbound. Yeah. So like, I don't know.
It goes back to everybody's a star of their own movie, and your character has to have traits. Your character has to have obstacles, things to overcome before the final credits roll. You know what I mean?
And that's
why you gotta stack the odds against yourself, because the story has to be a started with nothing, got it all, loses it, gets it back. And now you're at the top of the balcony shooting a bunch of Cuban dudes that jumped your fence.
Yeah, yeah.
And some guy walks up behind you with a shotgun, blows your back out, and you fall into the fountain.
Yeah.
And, you know, the world is yours.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the important thing to remember, the empathy of every person you see walking around. They got all these biases of the experiences that they had.
Exactly.
You know? Like that's what it, I mean, I don't want to quote like a lot of people hate like on Joe Rogan or whatever, right? But I remember when he, like the one few things he said that made it was like everybody is just an innocent child of themselves, scarred by the experiences that they had. And that's an important thing to remember. But that's, and you know what? That's funny you mentioned that, because I was just thinking about this on the way here, is that there are people who will have beefs with you wherever, definitely in comedy, right? Yeah. Now that I had like this many people die, whatever, I'm like, dude, is it worth fueling this beef?
Sometimes.
Because
sometimes it's just fun. Sometimes you just got to give into the hate.
I mean, I would almost make it into a joke where like you kind of become frenemies or something. Yeah. But I just, you know what it is, dude, I'm too forgiving because I raised I'm like, I tell people, I'm like a rescue dog hyena where you'll fucking throw a wrench at me and I'll be shaky and yelping, but the moment you feed me, we're best friends again. Like I just forgive too easily.
Yeah,
and it is funny because I think for the word forgiveness, it's like, oh, cool to fucking hate on religion now. It's like, dog, I went through that in 8th grade. You're going through the rebel phase in 30, you know? I think forgiveness is like hated on because it's associated with like established religion. But it's okay. Like if you're not, I feel like if you're not forgiving people, then you're staying in the same place. Like you're not growing, you know? I don't know, man.
But there's a spectrum of emotions and all of them are valid, not just the good ones or the platitudes, like heartbreak, jealousy, envy, pride, vanity.
Yeah.
All those things are also valid parts of the human existence, and you're not, it's impossible to be immune to them, depending on if you have a standard issue brain, it's impossible to stop the chemicals from going. It's we don't know how this thing is working, and plus you also have to consider the fact that at a certain point in time, humans, you get stuck in your. There's a perfect example. Human beings have mutated in our lifetimes. Slightly before our lifetimes, but you've been around to see it, and you could see it whenever you actually, when you walk out of here, you'll see in the next week if you're paying attention. Human beings, us as a species, has mutated physically. It's subtle, but look at, you call boomers, the boomer age.
Yeah.
Next time you're out and about, watch somebody that looks like they're 50 and above on their cell phone. They're going to do this.
Yeah.
And anybody born our time and after, they're going to do this. It literally, because they're growing up, their phone, their ways of communicating, they had the rotary or the push. Yeah. This was their most dominant finger. They used it for everything.
Yeah.
So now they have their cell phones, and you're going to see old ladies out there do. They can't help. It doesn't matter that this is way more efficient, and they see everybody on the planet doing it like this. They cannot help themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody else, we evolved to do this. And at a certain point in time, our evolution is fucking finished.
Yeah.
And we're going to look super old to the next generation that are doing the next thing that we're like, I don't got time for.
Dude, that is the biggest like laughter to me, is like picturing like you and me at a nursing home playing Call of Duty.
Yeah,
you know?
hell yeah.
That's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah. Remember, have you ever seen Back to the Future Part 2?
I think so, yeah.
It's definitely going to happen in real life. They called it out in that movie. We're going to be playing Call of Duty in the old folks' home, and some little rugrat's going to run in there and go, ew, they're playing with their hands.
Yeah.
Are you playing that video game with your hands?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
And they're going to plug back into whatever the stupid thing Elon stuck in their brain.
Yeah.
And fly off on metal wings.
Yeah. You know what I do think is funny that I wanted to call out, because I was like, I don't know, man. I always like having this little philosophical debate in my mind with to feed my ADHD or whatever. But I love that all these super nerds, and I think it stemmed from Rogan. Now I am going to hate on Rogan. They all talk about we're in a simulation. It's a matrix. Dude, we are raised. Coming from, this is the Polish side of me talking, where we didn't afford TVs back in the day, where you didn't afford movies. Y'all wouldn't even know the fucking word Matrix until the movie The Matrix came out.
They're Polish, right?
I think so. Yeah. The brothers or whatever, or the sisters. Yeah. But it's just like you wouldn't even, that wouldn't even be in your vocabulary if you didn't see that fucking movie.
Sure.
So it's like you're basing this whole theory. Oh, we're a simulation because of this movie that I saw. You know.
I think it's dumb, but for a different reason. I think it's dumb because it doesn't change the original fucking question. The original question is, how did we get here? Who started it?
Yeah.
We're in a simulation. Okay, fine. I'll accept that. Who started the simulation? How did we get here? The question is the exact same. Doesn't matter if we're in a simulation.
Lawrence
Doesn't
Fishburne.
matter if... Yeah. Well, now when you say it like that, damn it is so much simpler when you say it like that.
Yeah.
Man, do me a favor, Phil. This has been a phenomenal conversation. I'm going to have to have you back on, but please let the folks know
Yeah, for sure.
Where they can find you, what you got going on.
Well, so I wanted a quick update. Wild Dogs Comedy. We're moving somewhere. So I don't even remember if it was April. How long we I had a show going on in South Elgin that I was running with Bewee.
Okay.
Great fucking show. Great restaurant. It was a punk rock hot dog joint. It was like, if you ever been to Kuma's Corner,
I have.
this was the Kuma's of hot dogs. They made their own sausage. It was beautiful. It was fucking all owned by old punk rockers. I don't even know if I'm legally allowed to mention what happened, but it was a beef with the Giordano's owner. And so the Giordano's owner got his little millionaire uncle to fine the fucking place into bankruptcy. Ooh. Completely out of the producers. You know, I mean, we had a good run. We had fucking 3 or 4 sold out shows. Awesome fucking people on the, and so we're gonna move that into I'm seeing where we're gonna. I don't even know if we're gonna move it to a venue, but me personally, like, I love booking shows out of state, and I'm looking to get Chicago comedians who are interested in, like, let's take a weekend to fucking New York, whatever, you know. So that's still gonna go on. Other than that, I got my podcast, Wild Phil's Osophy. Still debating on whether I should fucking keep it, because I don't know, man. I feel like it's a circle jerk for a comedy scene. Like, I've had it for like 3 years.
Well, 80
if it
doesn't
views.
fulfill you and you don't like doing it just because it's fun, then don't do it.
It is fun. I just feel like,
then do it.
Yeah. I'm such a diva.
How can they find you?
So I'm on Insta. I got Wild Phil Lisiecki. If you just look up Wild Phil, I'm on there right away. I'm super excited. I got a Oasis, my favorite band. It's gonna be here in 2 weeks.
Oh, sweet.
I just in time I wrote a bit about it that I did at Zany's, and they actually put it on the biggest Oasis fan page. So all the comments are like, man, so those American comedians, never funny at all.
This guy's going places.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow Wild Phil and, of course, Real Rap Podcast, at Mike Knight Comedy on all the things. Coming right back with more. We're not stopping. I told you guys what it is.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think this episode like 56 or something. So we're on the race to 100. I see the community growing. I thank you guys so much. Keep coming back. Keep supporting. Please like, share, subscribe. And I'm going to keep it coming back. Real Rap Podcast. Mike Knight. Wild Phil Lisiecki. Love you guys. Peace.
Peace. Awesome.